Hey guys, what's up and welcome to my last pickups video of the year. It is, as of now, December 31st. So recording and putting this video up on the same day. But yeah, I mean, 2022 is coming to a close, pretty crazy. But you know, you kind of get used to it. It happens every year. But I did pick up some pretty decent stuff near the end of the year, and I haven't made a pickups video in a pretty long time. So I've gotten some decent stuff. Apologies if I show things twice. I can't quite remember what I showed. There's only like one or two things that I think I may have already shown, but if I did, sorry, just bear with me. But anyway, hope you guys had a great Christmas, holiday, whatever you celebrate. And, you know, I hope that you sit back, enjoy me going over what I picked up as we ring in the new year, as in, well, tomorrow. So I'm going to start off with strategy guides. If you aren't new to the channel, you know I'm a big strategy guide fan. So I picked up three that I'll show here today. The first one being Zelda: A Link Between Worlds. This is, of course, the 3DS game. I've actually been playing this game. It is a lot of fun. There was definitely some... How do I say it? There's definitely a mechanic or a thing about this game that really kind of hindered my first playthrough experience. I didn't make it very far because of... something to do with the weapons and the items. I don't want to spoil, but if you know, you know. But really, it's actually not that big of a deal now that I'm replaying it, and it's not getting in the way as much as it was. Second one I got is Zelda Spirit Tracks. This one is sealed. I have not played Spirit Tracks, nor do I really have a desire to play it as of right now, at least. But I love strategy guides, and I think this was just 20 bucks. 20 bucks for a sealed, obviously pristine strategy guide. Will, of course, have everything in it, so that's cool. And the final one I picked up, I got for a really good price because it's not in the best shape, but it's still a holy grail for me, and that is the Xenogears strategy guide. It was at the bottom of a bin, bottom of a tote. It's got everything intact, all the pages, and, you know, it's got a rip right there. If it's focusing, I don't know. But all the pages, you know, I'll go early so there's no spoilers, but at least, you know, the pages are fine. They're not too beat up. You could definitely read them. So, you know, I'm really happy to have that because it is a holy grail for me. JRPG strategy guides, they're hard to find, and when you do, they're very expensive, but, you know, that's just kind of the way it's got to be. But anyway, let's get into some games. Actually, there's one more thing that's not a game. It's actually a handheld system that I picked up. This is my IPS modded Game Boy SP. This was my original modded one that I had gotten. And my friend actually bought it from me. And he was like, hey, I'm going to sell it again. And he sold it back to me for a very good price. I know it's mine for sure because it's kind of Frankenstein together. Got red on that side. Had to put a gold back door because the other one got messed up. The buttons don't match, but hey, you know what? It works perfectly fine. There's no game in it, but, you know, if that's showing up, it works perfectly fine. Nice and bright, vibrant. IPS screens are really, really nice. If you have not checked them out, definitely check them out. They're a little pricey, but if you already have a Game Boy with a good motherboard, you could honestly mod it for about 70, 80 bucks, and I'll tell you, it's a game changer. All right, now we're getting into games. Sorry. Let's stay on the Game Boy theme. Why not? Just showed the Game Boy, so I'll show two Game Boy Advance games that I picked up. The one that I picked up is Zelda Minish Cap. I got this alongside of my Game Boy from my friend. Shout out to Austin. He got me, or he gave me his copy of Minish Cap along with the Game Boy for a very nice price. I had Minish Cap. I don't know if I've said it before on the channel. It's a game that I got for $20 about 8-9 years ago, and I lost it. I don't know where it is. I can't believe it's not somewhere around here. It's just mind-blowing. It actually, like, it genuinely drives me, like, fucking insane to know that it should be around here, and I just don't know where it's at. But, oh well. At least I got that one for a very nice price. And the second one I picked up is Castlevania Harmony of Dissonance. I'm trying to go for a complete Castlevania collection, but I say that very loosely because the games are expensive. There's a lot of them, and some I really just don't care to own. So I'm not going for a complete Castlevania collection. I'm trying to just get the ones I want, and there's still plenty to go. Bloodlines, Dracula X, the other Game Boy Advance one, the other DS one, things like that, because I have Dawn of Sorrow, and that's the only DS one I have. So there's still plenty I need to get, and so, but the ones I want, I am trying to snag up while I can. They're just hard to come by. Local, like going and finding them at local shops and in person, they're hard to come by. But at least I found that one, and I thought that was cool. Staying on the handheld theme, a few videos ago, showing my DS collection, I believe it was, maybe it was a pickups video, I showed off Dragon Quest 5, 6, or sorry, 4, 5, and 6, and I had the case for 9. I didn't have the game. Well, of course, I wouldn't be showing it again if I didn't have the game to show. So I finally got the game, which is nice because, well, I needed it. Sorry, the art didn't go back into its place. I'm going to leave this open for now and readjust the insert because I don't want to mess it up. But yeah, I got the game, which is really cool. That Dragon Quest game is technically my first JRPG that I ever played through as a kid. I didn't really look at it as a JRPG, like, necessarily. I know it sounds weird. I looked at it like a Pokemon game. In my brain, I was like, oh, it's just like Pokemon. You take turns battling. I don't know why that made it better, because any other game like that, I was like, nah, I don't want to play it. I don't want to play it. Like, it was really weird. Like, Final Fantasy games, like, nah, I don't want to play it. I don't want to play it. For some reason, that one, I was like, yeah, it's like Pokemon when it's, whatever. You know, your brain as a kid, sometimes it just doesn't make sense, but oh well. Alright, here's a PS2 game that I wonder if any of you've heard of. My friend Austin, the same one that I got the Game Boy from, swears by this game on PS2. He's a big fan of the Tony Hawk games, as am I. And he swears by this game, and it is Aggressive Inline. It is obviously roller skating, roller blading, and I don't know much about it, but it does seem to play like Tony Hawk, as far as, you got your combos and your insane tricks and specials and manual combos, things like that. It's got pretty cool, special characters. It's got music from Hoobastank, which I think is the main opening song. Hoobastank, Black Sheep, Farside, sorry if I'm saying that wrong, Real Big Fish, Sublime, and more. So, he swears by this game. He loves it, so I picked it up. I think it's $5. Picked it up to try it, and, hopefully I like it, because, like I said, he swears by it. Here's a game on Xbox 360. I haven't gotten to play any of these games. The third one just came out, if that's any hint to it, but I grabbed Bayonetta on Xbox 360. Problem is, even if I wanted to play this game right now, I don't have an Xbox 360 because it was my little sister's, and her boyfriend wanted to borrow it, and I really don't have the authority to say no, even though I wanted to, because, well, it's technically not mine. This copy's in alright shape, but, I got it cheap enough to just try it out. It is on sale on Steam for like $2, so if I really wanted to play it right now, I'd probably pick it up on Steam, but I don't really have like a big desire to play it. I just haven't seen it out in the wild yet, so I decided to snag it. Here's a game I bought in on the hype of the new one coming out. It is a FromSoft game, and it is not a Souls-like game, but it is a mech game, and I've not played any mech games personally to really know how they are, but I picked up Armored Core 2. This game is a game that a lot of people say you'll spend 5 minutes in the mission, but you'll spend an hour customizing your mech before then. Which sounds like a good and bad thing, of course, because does that mean that you got to spend an hour because you just have to? Or is that the fun part? I don't really know that, but I did pick up this game. I got it for like $10. It is manual only. But I feel like $10 is kind of a steal. Or manual only. It's no manual, disc only. Well, not disc only because I do have the case. With the official art now. Because I actually bought this without the official art. Found the official art for $5 on eBay and slapped it in there. Gotta get that horrendous yellow. Was that gotta be a GameStop sticker, right? But, if you guys have played this, definitely let me know. It's like I said, I'm a big FromSoft fan. But I know that this game plays nothing like the Souls games, of course. I had some guy tell me in the store, like, that doesn't play like Dark Souls. Like, yeah, man, like, sorry to be mean, but, like, no shit, yeah, I know. But whatever, I mean, hey, people looking out for people. It is what it is. I'm not too bent out of shape about it, but, yeah, so, pick that up. Actually, I think there's a game over here that I hadn't shown, now that I think about it, and it's right here. I think I was about to miss out on this. PS3 Alice Madness Returns. Yeah, I just don't know why this popped in my brain that this is a game that I picked up recently. My girlfriend loved this game, and she really recommended it to me, and I actually was able to walk into a store and find it for what I feel is a reasonable price. So I picked up Alice Madness Returns. Can't believe I forgot about that, and luckily it's right here, because I don't know why my brain just remembered it. Weird how that works. Next up is a game that I got for my girlfriend for Christmas, so this is a very recent pickup. She loves this game, and I never personally played it, but maybe now I'll play it. That is Undertale. This is I believe it's a Fangamer release. Yeah, I don't know if this was like a limited run style release or not, but the thing that makes me feel like it was is it actually comes with something. A normal Nintendo release would have absolutely nothing in there. It's a little booklet, and I believe in the back is, okay, just some advertisements. But this book, I tell you, it's actually a pretty thick, good feeling. I don't really know how to describe it, but it's got like a good binding on it. It's got the characters in it. This book is a premium little book, I'll tell you that much. But yeah, Undertale. I heard this game's great. A lot of people love it. This is fun fact if you watch Twitch.tv or you play League of Legends. Tyler won. This is his favorite. Like, I think this is his favorite game of all time, Undertale, which really is surprising to me. But I've not played it. Maybe now I'll finally get around to playing it and trying it out, because for some reason it didn't really look like a game for me. But I think there's no reason to not try it now that, you know, I can play it on the Switch. Next up is I did get a big box of Super Nintendo games, but there's some decent stuff in there. But the one that really stood out to me that I wanted, it's a little beat up, but that's Yoshi's Island. Got it from a yard sale, big lot thing. Yoshi's Island is one of my favorite games, and I know the crying sound is very annoying, but the way that that game's played, where it's a puzzle action platformer, I don't know. You're throwing the eggs, it's not just a pure 2D platformer. It's kind of like an action platformer in a weird way, puzzly-ish game. But if you haven't played it, which I'm sure you have, it's definitely worth playing. If you got the Switch online service, you got that scam service like I do, you can try it on there. But that game is really fun. I do recommend that one. I was gonna have a video game playing on the CRT here, but I figured it would be annoying with, like, if it would, like, not pick me up sometimes, like not focus right, and the brightness would be weird. So maybe next time I'll try that out and we'll see how it goes. I just wanted to point that out. All right, here's 3 Nintendo 3DS games I picked up. Rapid fire them. Donkey Kong Country Returns 3D. I got Pokemon Sun, and I got New Super Mario Bros. 2. These games I got for about 20 bucks each, 15 bucks each-ish. Donkey Kong Country 3D, it's all right. It's not all right. It runs at 30 FPS. It looks pretty bad, but these 2 games look and run fine. This one is actually a game that a lot of people don't like, or I don't want to say if they don't like them, or it's one of those, like, the other ones are like 9 out of 10s and this one's like a 7. Where it's like, it's not bad, but it's nothing compared to the other ones you could play in a way, and that might be why it's cheaper. But, you know, I know it's for me, when I played a bit, it's not better than the DS one, but that's alright. Who cares? Here's a PS2 game I picked up around Halloween, and I don't know if I did a pickups video since Halloween. I know it's crazy to say, so if this is a repeat, I'm really sorry, but I did pick up Siren. If I showed this, I may have showed this, I don't know. It doesn't hurt to show it again. I'm not going to spend too much time on it, but I did pick up Siren. So I realized Tucker and Ryder, they love opening their games and showing them. I don't know why I don't do that. Well, I know why. I don't like this. I think that's annoying to hear on camera. I just, all my games are complete. If they're not, I'll say it, but if I show a game, it's complete. I don't know. I don't feel the need to say that every time. That's just me, but we're gonna go, this one's a bit of a big one to show. Right here, one of my favorite, if not my favorite Tony Hawk game of all time, Tony Hawk's Underground. Been looking for this for a long while. It's funny, the thing with these types of games, with local, like shopping local and not buying things off eBay, a game like Tony Hawk's Underground is going to sell quick. It's cheap, it's great, it's just one of those fly off the shelf games, and they're really hard to come by. I don't think my local game store has a single Tony Hawk game in stock right now on the PS2, and I think that's kind of nuts. I know I just talked about not opening games, but not caring. But I did want to say, my voice just cracked. I did want to say this manual, this copy is like insanely nice. It's definitely adult owned. I mean, this manual looks like it never left the case. That stuff stands out to me. I don't mind a used manual, a beat up used manual. That's fine with me. But when they're really nice and it's an old game, it stands out to me, and I think that's really neat. So I just wanted to show that. All right, how about one of my biggest disappointments of the year? Sorry to say, I had a lot of hype for this game and pre-ordered it, and yeah, don't pre-order games too often. I'm not gonna say don't. I'm not someone that says don't pre-order. Do what you want. Pre-ordering's fine. I've pre-ordered Dead Space Remake that's coming up. I pre-ordered the collector's edition of RE4. Do what you want. If you think you're gonna like it, do it. And I did that, and that's exactly what I did for Callisto Protocol. I pre-ordered it. I was like, there's no way I'm not gonna hate it. Oh, there's no way I'm gonna hate it. Not gonna hate it. I know I'll love it. And you know, it was a good game that just fell flat. It feels like by the time the game ends, it felt like it was just getting started, and that really left me feeling a little empty. You know, the credits rolled, and I was just like, "That's it, man." I really wanted more out of the game, and for $70, man, you know, this $70 price point, you really got to be careful nowadays with what you're buying, because I'm not saying that a long game means that you're getting your value out of it. You know, I'm not saying that a $70 game has to have 40 hours worth of content. It can be 10 hours. It can be 5 hours. You know, that's really not my problem I have with it. But those 5 or 10 hours, they really got to be good. And like I said, Callisto, it felt like there was a build up. Right near the end is like, okay, I'm in it now, and I'm ready to go. And then it ends. So as long as the short game is very fun and throughout the whole game, there's no issue there. And it lacked in a lot of things. It was a little lackluster, I will say. Here's a Wii game that I already own, and I already had it in my collection, apparently. Little did I know. I thought we got rid of it. But Christmas Eve, I'm talking to my mom, and I was like, Mom, I don't have Wii Sports on the Wii. I was like, we had a bunch of people over, and I was like, we could really play Wii Sports or something fun. And she's like, oh, we still have Wii Sports. I'm like, oh, sweet, because I thought we got rid of it. So we're looking for it, and, you know, I'm in her room, and she's digging and digging. She goes, oh, we don't have Wii Sports. We just have this game. And she pulls out New Super Mario Bros. Wii, which is what came with my Wii, my second Wii that I ever got. And I'll say I was much happier to have this than Wii Sports, believe it or not, because this is one of the, like, best, most fun co-opable platform games of all time. I have the new Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe on Switch, but I'll tell you, this one, it's a little pricey too, you know. I didn't want to rebuy it. It was just at that price of like, man, I want it again, but for that price, I just can't. It was like 35, 40 bucks. Really happy to have this back though, because like I said, this should have my original save on it, or not this, but the Wii. My Wii has the original save of all 9 worlds, so really actually looking forward to putting that back in and checking out where I left off. I don't know why I can't speak today. Here's my one and only Wii game for the year. This is a Capcom release. Some people call it a hidden gem. I've seen it pop up on some videos, but it is a puzzle adventure point and click game, which really isn't up my alley. But I don't know, this one seemed intriguing to me, and it happens to be in kind of a setting that I like, and you know, it has to do with, like, you know, the main character is like a pirate, and I love pirates. But that is Zack and Wiki Quest for Barbaros Treasure. Quest for Barbaros Treasure. Jeez, I'm really struggling to talk this morning. But this is like I said, a point and click puzzle adventure game that is apparently really fun. So I really tried to avoid really anything on it. Though I've heard this game, along with the game like Ryder was playing, Day of the Tentacle or something like that, I think is what it's called, where it's like, apparently this game, man, you'd need to have a walkthrough up, because there's some mind-bending puzzles, and I don't know how I feel about that. It's kind of like, you know, I'm sure you could figure it out, but I don't know. The way Ryder was describing Day of the Tentacle and the way people describe this game, you're going to rip your hair out trying to figure it out, so maybe resort to a guide if you need to. That's what it seems like to me. All right, we're going to do Here's a Genesis game. This is Ghouls and Ghosts. I always want to say Super Ghouls and Ghosts, but that is Super Nintendo. Ghouls and Ghosts. This is, a lot of people say that this is the best one, so I wanted to pick it up and try it out. Yeah, I mean, I've played a very, very small amount of it, because that is definitely a game that I'm going to play, like, one night when Rider's over. We'll pop this in and see how far we can get. That's what I think these types of games are perfect for me personally. Because while I like playing them, they're not like Castlevania to me, where I'm like, okay, I just want to play it. This is very play with a friend, and because it's hard, and you know, you can get mad at it together and all that stuff. But either way, I hope we have a good time playing it. Here's a NES game. I don't think, man, I think the last time I picked up NES games was the beginning of summer, when I got an NES with Dragon Warrior, Tetris 2, and Mario Bros. And Duck Hunt, and the NES ended up not working. So now that I have another NES, I did pick up a game for the NES, and I'm not really a fan of the NES. Like, I like it, but I don't really collect for it. But they had this there at a really nice price, and it is my favorite one on the NES. That is Castlevania 3, Dracula's Curse. This one is my favorite one. It is definitely the hardest. I will say that. I've never played through this game without using the save states on the collection, because holy, is this game hard. But this is a game that I'll probably pop in once in a while and see how far I can get. It would definitely be a bucket list to beat this no save states, because I could beat the first one without save states, and the second one, I guess. I just don't like the second one, but this one, no way I was going to beat that without save states. So I'll go ahead and give it another shot on the original hardware. You know, no save states there. You just kind of got to suck it up. But really happy to have that, because I'm trying to collect the Castlevania games, and that's my favorite one. That's my favorite NES one. I don't want to say favorite one. All right, the last three I'd say are pretty big hitters. One of them I may have shown, sorry. But I'm a big fan of Dead Space, and I own all the Dead Space games. And Callisto Protocol kind of left a sour taste in my mouth. So it really made me want to get another, like, I don't know, it made me want to play Dead Space again. And I walked into one of my local stores, and there sat Dead Space 2 Collector's Edition, and I just couldn't pass it up. It is so cool. It's not too big, it doesn't take up too much room, but it's still a very neat little thing to own. This is it opened up. I don't know if you can really see it. What's inside though? A little replica plasma cutter. Really neat. Sorry, I'm not going to open it up. It is super annoying to open up, the plasma cutter at least. But inside, I believe, was just the game. The plasma cutter is in this box here, and some codes. And, which I think is really cool here, the Dead Space 2 Collector's Edition Original Soundtrack CD. Super cool. If I can get it out, maybe. This actually might be sealed. Yeah, this is sealed. Okay, well, this is sealed. So, never mind. But, yeah, I think that's really cool. Physical soundtracks aren't really a thing anymore, unless you get collector's editions, I guess. But even then, I feel like you're just getting the digital soundtrack, kind of like Elden Ring. But speaking of which, this is a little off topic, but you can't see it down here, probably. But my girlfriend got me a vinyl record player for Christmas, so that's gonna be another rabbit hole I'm gonna jump down. Vinyl, video game soundtrack vinyls. That's gonna be another thing I'm gonna be collecting. So add that to the list. All right, this one I don't know if I've showed yet. This is the final two PS1 games. I don't know if I showed Breath of Fire 4. Like I said, I can't remember. If I showed it, I'm sorry. But this is one of the best looking JRPGs of all time, in my opinion. The art style is, I look at it like a pastel art style, and I love it. No, I've not played this one, but this Breath of Fire game is the one that stands out to me the most, at least of ones that I want to play. So if I've already shown it, my bad. I don't think I showed this last one though, and if I did, well, then I'm an idiot. The last one is, let me see if you guys can maybe guess it. It's just a Sony like release, not like Square Enix or anything like that, just Sony. It is a 2D platformer where you can go from the background to the foreground. It's kind of got like an RPG element with like quests throughout the level. Very colorful. And the final hint that's going to give it all away is you play as a little pink-haired caveman. That, my friend, is Tomba. A game, I will use this term because I don't use this term a lot. You won't catch me saying it too much. This game is ahead of its time. Truly is, as far as the RPG element, the way you interact with the background, the foreground, throwing the enemies. I just think this game, the way it plays, the way it looks, the way it controls, all the things you can do in it, the RPG element, everything, like I said, it really was ahead of its time. If there's a game out there that's like it, that came before it, then my apologies, but I really don't think there is. I think this was a pretty revolutionary style of platformer that sadly didn't really stick around, as far as I know. I don't think there's a whole lot of Tomba-like games, which is kind of a shame. If there is, let me know in the comments. I'd love to check them out. I've not played or not beat Tomba yet. I did get about halfway through. Super fun game. It's a pretty pricey one. This was one that I liked so much playing on the PS3. I got it for $5 on the PS3. I liked it so much that I was like, man, I'd love to get this physical, you know, and that's normally how I collect. I don't buy games unless I really want them. And if I've played them, like I've played Breath of Fire 4 a little bit to see how I felt about it on the PS Vita. I was like, yeah, I need to play this on the CRT. That's that. But yeah, so Tomba is one that I really do recommend if you got to emulate it, if you got to get it on PS3, if you got to get it on Vita, PSP, whatever you got to do it on. I do recommend it if you haven't played it. It's well worth it. I can't recommend the second one. Never played it. Second one is a bit cheaper though, so I don't know why. But yeah, that is my final pickups video of 2022. Really appreciate the support we've gotten on the YouTube channel this year. We've done a bit better with consistency, but definitely far from great. We did see a little spike though. We went from about 149 subscribers, and I think now we're sitting at 193. I mean, I can't ask for more. That's awesome. We do this just for fun, honest to God. We really just do this to document our collecting, because pretty much as soon as we got really heavy into collecting, we started doing pickups videos to really like show you know, something to look back on when we're older. And it's a lot of fun memories. And again, super appreciate the support. This is a very niche while also overpopulated type of thing on YouTube, showing your retro games and talking about games. I mean, there's millions of people doing it, so you picking us to watch every once in a while means a lot to me. It means a lot to Ryder as well. Again, I will say Ryder's just not really in the best situation for making videos. He doesn't really have a computer to use, things like that. The showing his collection videos were about the best thing he could do because bam, turn the camera on, blah blah. He could do these pickups videos like I do. I don't know when he's last done one and how much stuff he has to show, but anyway, really appreciate the support. Hopefully you'll see from us in 2023 more than you did 2022, and I'll see you next time. Happy New Year. Take care.